We've done the local recording.
Okay.
We're live.
Holy cow.
Surprise.
This is the only way I know I'm actually alive.
I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg.
Oh, look at that. Perfect timing. Wait a minute. Are you hearing any sound?
No, I am not.
Let's make sure we got sound here.
If we don't have sound, this will be a really weird watch party.
I wonder why we're not hearing. I don't know if they've turned sound on yet or not, but anyway, we are in Vegas.
At a certain point, you just sort of give up. That's the only way you can think about it.
That's all right. We're in Vegas for a good reason because it's CRM Playaz residency week in Vegas.
There we go.
Now boarding PegaWorld Inspire. Enjoy your journey to an autonomous enterprise.
All right. So surprise,
Approaching
surprise.
10,000 feet.
We're doing a
Sit
watch
back
party.
and scale infinitely on the cloud.
We're doing a watch party, impromptu watch party, because we are at PegaWorld. It's the first PegaWorld
Now entering
live
Las
in
Vegas.
4 years.
Don't
Yeah.
miss your connection to
2019.
industry
And
leaders.
later on today, we're going to be doing
Forecast
a
calls for
real
a high
CRM
chance of
Play
AI
show,
disruption.
with bevy of guests.
Welcome, innovators.
Yeah, and we will
It's
be
time
doing
to
it from
unleash your
slightly
vision.
in this room, but from a different place. We'll see when the time.
The road to autonomy is shorter than you think.
Shift.
Hey,
Real-time,
how's you?
transparent AI.
You look
You
good.
work smart.
The low-code
I
Brent
can't-
Gerber has a snowball.
Ray, oh well, of course, Ray. Ray the Pega.
Infinitely scalable and
The
adaptable.
old buddies.
Right here.
Absolutely.
This is
So
where
we're
you
gonna check out
unleash
the open
your
keynote,
vision.
because you don't want to miss Alan's reference.
I hope all you guys. I hope you saw him when we had him on. It was so good. The guy, he's always good. What can you say?
Yeah. So we're going to check out the open keynote, and maybe we'll have a
Now
guest
arriving.
analyst show up.
Building,
Yeah. Lots of
transforming,
good.
scaling,
Lots of good.
reimagining.
Someone who
At
you
PegaWorld
kind of
Inspire.
know, but you haven't had a lot of exposure to from us, but there's been a bit.
And let us know if you're hearing us okay.
Please welcome
If
to the
audio is
stage
coming through.
Pega's
Yeah, please.
founder and
Really
CEO,
important.
Alan Trefler.
Here he is.
Now we start.
That's a big swoop.
Either that or he's
Welcome,
really,
Pega.
really little.
I know I have, but I think we've all missed this.
Thanks, Jeff.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thrilled to be here,
course.
especially after
We're
3
getting
years.
Pega alums on this call.
But
Wonder if
This
Jeff feels a little
year-
awkward not being there.
this isn't
Nah.
all we're celebrating.
Jeff never feels awkward about anything. He's always smooth.
We're at our 40th anniversary.
That is amazing. Yeah, and they're live actually. We're not on this.
We've used 40 years developing AI, developing low code, bringing pragmatic value to our clients, and trying to understand how to handle sophisticated problems in whole new ways. I will tell you from my perspective, it's been an amazing journey, fresh every day. And it's all driven and all about clients and partners like you.
What's that, the MarTech landscape?
That's what it looks like. Those are the customers.
Holy cow.
We're so excited by our engagement with our customers. We find that it stimulates, it rewards, it encourages, occasionally painful, but always worth it. And what I would say is that one of the things that's important is whether you're new to the Pega family or whether you're one of our long-standing clients, that you really embrace working together with us as we work on the journey that I'm here to talk to you about today, and that you'll see so much more of in the next 2
They're
days.
very impressive looking.
You know, I'd say one of the
Yeah.
core elements of Pega's value system
Well, it's
is that
probably
the
all in all
thing I
maybe
get the
300 or
most pride out
400.
of
It's not really like a
and
huge
feel the
amount,
most
but it looks
responsibility
way
for.
more impressive than that.
is that my first two customers
Citibank.
who went live
Citibank.
39 years ago are still major clients today. And you'll be hearing from
That
one
is
of them.
amazing.
Citibank
That is.
is going to talk to
Citibank,
you.
yeah.
I don't think about that whole 39-year transition. But I think they'll talk about how they've moved to a really modern cloud-native environment to run the latest AI and decisioning architectures.
One thing
And you know what I'll say is that during these years, technology has changed a lot, like mind-blowingly. Now, sometimes that change is evolutionary. It's steady. Other times, the change is radical and revolutionary and disruptive and threatens both technology companies and also all the businesses in a sector. What I would tell you is that it's clear to us that we are at a revolutionary moment. We're at a moment when the emergence of AI in new ways is complementing our traditional views of AI and providing both enormous opportunities and enormous risks. And we're doubling down on AI. You're going to see how we're doing it in ways that are intended to help the developer, to help the organizational staff, and most importantly, to help the client. And you'll see generative AI applied in stunning ways, complementing the analytical AI, which has been core to what we do, and the process AI, which is a key element, and the AI-powered next best actions.
Generative AI
so much
plus
more.
Whatever your
Now, the results here are what matter.
AI strength is.
The results have got to be better client engagement, optimized processes, and ultimately outcomes that win for the clients and for your staff. We're at a tipping point. You know, if you look at what's happened with generative AI, think about Facebook. They took 10 months to hit 1 million users, right? Instagram took 11 weeks. Generative AI, ChatGPT, took 5 days. 5 days. So there's no question that this is here, it's coming.
PPN.
And it's sweeping over our businesses.
1 million users.
It's going to influence not just bits of technology, but how people think about their businesses in very profound and very fundamental ways. And what this means is there's going to be a tremendous amount of change. Change in technology, but even more significantly, change in the way that business is run. And we need to embrace this. We need to learn collectively to make change a fundamental element of how we operate, a fundamental skill. And this is when I love that for the last 20 years, Pega's motto, our tagline, our registered trademark is build for change. Our brand promise has never felt more vital. Now, this idea of building for change has been core to our thinking right from the beginning. And it's found in our definitional and absolutely critical layer cake approach,
about them that
which I'll talk about a little bit more.
I start to realize is
and
they
it
have
brings
always,
enormous power
from day
to
one,
workflow automation and AI-powered decision.
Day one. The
now, look,
BPM
a lot
thing,
of concepts
back in the days of BPM,
even some of these latest technologies have been around for a long time. I mean, neural nets were being studied when I was back in university. And we've been using AI for years, and you use AI in many ways to enhance client experiences. But the thing about AI is it's evolving. It's creating new ways of thinking, new ways to complement what already exists. And you know, I started my career actually very much in AI. You know, I had a success at a major international tournament and earned a master's rating, and you know, it was great. I was a college sophomore. It was kind of a miracle, actually. And you know, it led to me to be recruited for a couple of things. I was recruited to place 47 Dartmouth College students on the green. And you know, the bookstore paid $10 to anyone who would beat me. And yeah, that's Leon up there that I'm playing with, and he beat me. But notwithstanding that,
For those who don't know who Leon
more
is, that's his
significantly,
brother.
and by the way,
You're the guy that was
I
always
don't think I have
smacking
that
you.
shirt anymore.
Right.
I was asked if I might wear it. I think that's a good thing. But more significantly, I was recruited to work with the computer science department to try to teach computers how masters thought about chess, how to think about what was then called expert systems,
Teach computers how
to be able to
masters thought
see
about
if we
this.
could get a computer to play at a reasonable level. And, you know, it was a different way of thinking about problems. And, you know, candidly, the whole way of thinking about this whole topic has changed massively, of course, over the years. But at that time, it really impacted my thinking. And I think set a path for the journey that Pega has been on. When I went to work in the big city as a software architect, I was faced with many of the common business problems that occur in one of the world's top banks, and looking at how you build systems in this sort of way. And it struck me that using this understanding of how you teach a computer to play chess could give you opportunities to apply those ways of thinking to different type of problems, ways of thinking that might entail teaching the computer to do other types of automation, to capture the business processes and the rules in a mode similar to the way that we were trying to capture how a chess master thought when they played chess, and getting it so that business people and IT people could work together on a common canvas to be able to have them both in control,
Smart the way he's
and both able to influence and change the
Well, you know,
way
one of the
that the
things
business
that
works.
always gets me, aside from
And
evolutionary,
it's this thinking
their
that led
overall
to the
message is
original
always
concepts
consistent, and it's
of the
always
layer cake.
outcomes based. By the way, that's the one
The
thing I
idea of
noticed
creating a
their messaging
structure
over the years.
to
Always.
organize the processes, the rules, all the elements, the interfaces, the technology, in a way that brought order to it, that allowed things to be shared, but also compartmentalize certain parts so that you could have common rules and processes across the organization, but specialization where that made sense. And what we've come to realize is that the layer cake is fundamental to new ways of thinking in the face of generative AI. Now, the layer cake is the first of two elements that are absolutely critical to the thinking we want to talk to you about today. The second is what we call center out. Center out is about creating engines that have brains and process and case management to record the history of what's going on, that can be dropped into your enterprise, not in the channels, because the last thing you want is a business logic in the channels, because, well, you can't use it across
It's
the
interesting
channels.
because
And not in the back-end silos of
they're-
systems, because you
they're,
don't want to bury
when it boils
business
down to it,
logic in the back ends.
the enterprise.
Let's face
Yeah.
it, lots of us have lots of that.
I remember years ago I had this.
But when you've got it buried in either front end or the back end,
Alan.
you lose
I
the
was saying,
ability
well,
to think of what the
lunch
business
audience
is
of his,
trying to actually
saying,
achieve.
and he was in the audience saying,
what
well,
the outcomes are
I was asked a
that you
question by a
really want.
customer, and they said, well,
Well,
Pega
if you
doesn't
create
really
engines
appeal much
like
to the
this,
mid-market or the
engines
small business world.
that
And
are
Alan got up and argued with
powered
me about it.
and built on
And he said, oh, yes, we
that
do.
layer cake
And
concept,
I said, no, you don't.
you've
and they
got
don't.
the ability
But they really
to
do a
capture
good job
the intelligence
with the
and
actual
execute it.
enterprise.
But it's really important
I mean,
to
they're
not
just-
think of
It's
this
big.
as a monolith.
Their architectures are big.
We've built it especially to operate in a distributed fashion. And the idea, the vision, is this should be part of a connective tissue, a part of a fabric, a microservices architecture, as it were, with a collection of engines running perhaps in multiple regions to be able to handle local data requirements, but all running off of a common set of layer cake definitions, so that the way you run your business, the way you implement change, has both the locality, the power of being local, but also has the power of supporting global concepts and the ability to change rapidly at a global pace. Having a distributed architecture provides incredible agility. Having a layer cake to capture the logic of your businesses is what delivers a coherent experience to your customers wherever they are, and to your staff, to make sure that what they do is always on target. Because the way we describe this is you want to run your business as a process fabric. You want to think of the outcomes of your business and weave together all the core elements. So Pega, and you'll be able to see it in the Innovations Hub, has a process fabric hub, which acts like a Google index for all the work in your organization. By the way, it can include non-Pega work as well. It allows you to see it from a customer point of view. What am I doing for this customer wherever I'm doing it? And what did I recently finish for this customer? Or it allows you to assign and operate and manage it from an operational point of view. How do I get the right piece of work to the right staff member at the right time to meet service levels and do everything we need to be able to do to ensure that the staff is always at its most productive, facilitated by AI in the way they do the jobs, but organized by a fabric that ties together the different objectives, helping you get work done most transparently to clients and most effectively. Now, you also want to start in some areas and continue doing this, but do this in a way that's organized and structured. And our solution to this is what we call the low-code innovation factory. And the low-code innovation factory is what allows you to, do this at scale, to bring in new ideas, to leverage what already exists, to be able to support quality and testing and reuse at an enterprise level. And this is how we think about low code. And candidly, it's not the low code of others. This is the layer cake, controlling the low code and accelerating the adoption of these engines through the power of AI. And the best thing about this is you can have an enterprise that becomes self-optimizing, where
Autonomous.
every piece of it can be evaluating how it's working, looking at standards, minding what's going on with the processes.
You know, they've been
And we
pushing
call
autonomy in
this
various ways for a
continually
long time.
optimizing enterprise,
Autonomous service at one point.
driven
too.
by the layer cake, driven by these
But they-
center-out engines.
Again, they stick with it.
We call that the
That's
autonomous
thing. We've got to
enterprise.
build according to a plan that
And
really
it
does
is
plan
going to
for
change the
Yeah, the
game.
interesting thing is
It makes automation
layer
seamless.
cake,
It brings people
process
in
fiber,
when and where people are needed.
autonomous
And
enterprise.
Pega's uniquely
These are
positioned
things that they've been talking
to
about
help
for
you
years. It's
Yeah.
not like
achieve.
they come up
this
with
next
stuff,
level.
and then you never hear about it again.
And
Now, to
it
make it
build upon
happen,
the stuff.
And it stays
We
stays
are
fresh
using
too, which
Yeah.
is the other thing that
our
they do
AI.
well.
the AI we've been using,
Yeah.
and a massive introduction of capability around generative AI. And we're upping the pace and are tremendously excited. You'll hear from Karim and Rob and Don about real specifics and be able to see them in the Innovation Hub. And you know, what's interesting is I think the emergence of generative AI is going to be absolute destruction for about 80% of the low-code players. Because they're going to discover that they're not adding structural value and people will just generate code. But for Pega, we think we are uniquely positioned to actually turn
Why wouldn't you?
generative to enormous advantage. So I'm going to explain to you why we see ourselves as uniquely positioned. And that's because there are certain things that really go well with AI. And one of the things that goes really well with AI
Cake.
is cake.
I knew it.
You see, even
about
AI
layer
likes the
cake?
I
cake.
know. I knew it. I knew he'd say the word cake too.
Cake is the secret to mastering Gen AI. And our patented layer cake organizes the pieces of your system, the workflows, the decisions into these layers that allow you to reliably add and build, but also to change it, which is one of the most critical elements. Now, this is very different from other approaches. Other approaches are going down the path of saying, oh, I'm going to use all these wonderful prompts. Isn't it a miracle? Prompts are going to generate code. And the code, I'm going to stick it together somehow.
Yeah, that's
And
not fair.
you know, candidly, if
The
you've
reality
got
is other
small apps,
that's other
systems that aren't
approaches
very
when you hear
sophisticated,
consumers
this
talking
may be
about it,
fine.
not when you hear the other
But
companies talking.
the problem is your logic is buried in this code. And more code and more code,
Yeah, this
which inevitably means more bugs. And the reality is more disconnected apps.
Yep, I agree with this.
Yeah.
As this happens, organizations, some are already finding that they're accumulating lots of very shoddy code, which in the technical realm, we call this technical debt. And the real killer is you do this, and then you want to go back and you want to change a piece of it. How do you can't reprompt the whole thing. How do you control and constrain and manage what you're changing? How do you have a safety net to let you see what you've done with some sort of, vantage point? That's where the Pega approach is radically different. Yes, we're using Gen AI. You'll see it used big.
Great, the work.
But we're using it to augment the layer cake. We're using
Very
it
smart approach.
not to generate the code, but to generate the rules, the business logic, the AI principles into the cake, into that structure. So you've got a place where you can look at
how do you
it
validate
and reflect on what it's doing and actually show an auditor
accuracy of that?
what you're running without showing
I
them a
don't
bunch
have
of
any
prompts.
idea how you validate that other than
And
it doesn't
this
work
then
when you
becomes
try
the
it, or it
basis
works when you
for the
try it.
most important thing,
But how do you validate how
which is being able to
much
change
more
it
efficient it is?
and being able to
Well, I guess
weave
more
it
efficient
out
because it took a lot less
and
time. But
control
beyond
it
that,
across your business.
I'm not sure.
To make it
I don't
percolate across
understand it.
the
I think it
enterprise.
saves time getting
Now,
started.
this is candidly a big
And I
idea
can see that. The time
it was
side is the only thing I
empowered by
actually
the
see, but as far
architecture
as the actual effect
that we
of
uniquely have.
what it's generating,
So
the
we
whole other
look
story, something has to,
at what's
in effect,
potentially a very threatening
fact check.
moment for lots of organizations
Right now,
and
we
see
know
pure
ChatGPT doesn't do
empowerment.
that.
right.
And we're doubling down on bringing
As
our
long as the
development
word
environment,
hallucination is part of
the power of
ChatGPT or
generative AI,
any generative AI,
the power of an
then what
autopilot,
it
the
generates
power
could literally be,
to make
it can be
AI-driven
actually dangerous
development
potentially.
natural, to be able to put Pega skills at
I'll say
everyone's
it's one of the few
fingertips,
times
where the
where typically you
assistance
say, well,
comes
you know,
to you,
a gun's a weapon,
seeing what you're
but it
doing,
depends on the
proactively
human
guiding
using
and
it or not.
automating.
But this is one of
We
the times where it
expect the
doesn't depend on the human
developers
using
with
it.
Pega
The
can
human's not,
more
this is
than
where the AI
double
is
their
going crazy on its
productivity
own, which is
to
scary.
deliver much more capability,
Not going crazy,
much more rapidly.
but it's
And this is just one of the revolutionary changes you're going to see
anyone listening. What do you think about that?
today, and with what Pega is going to be doing
What
over
do you
the
think
next
about the
year.
fact that adding
Now,
to the
I
workflow,
think
you know,
we have the chance to
using
radically
it to generate
improve how people
workflows
run their
and
businesses.
process and things like
And that
that,
this
given
is
that it
truly
hallucinates, how
a
is that
moment
really,
of genesis.
is that something to be
Truly
concerned about? Something that
revolution.
you sort of think, well, Pega's got it under
Empowered with
control.
our history, our
I mean,
knowledge,
what?
our
If
the
anyone
awesome
listening wants
customers
to
that we
answer
get to
that,
deal with.
do me a favor and
We
drop it in
are,
the comments.
I believe, terrifically positioned to lead this revolution. But like a lot of revolutions, you have to be alert to some of the dangers. And Rob Walker tomorrow will talk a little bit about
Like a
that.
lot
But
of revolution.
just to give you a bit of an
All
example,
revolution.
if you were to ask AI
Take it
to
from one who was
draw
a
the
revolutionary
moment of
and-
creation, the Genesis spirit from the Sistine Chapel, you might get this, like we did, which I'm not sure how it got there, but I would say is more than a little deeply disturbing. If this is what AI is going to do with us and to us. So we need the control. We need that cake in the middle. And we need the right architecture to be able to make this work.
So his guardrails are
because if you do
situational layer cake.
If you do have that right sort
And
of
the
set of
process
controls
fabric,
and
and
you do
that's
have
his
the right
guardrail.
power,
That's why I said
you can really bring an artistic vision
what it creates goes into
to your enterprise. And you can
But
take
does it have
this
this
incredible moment of Genesis
built into that?
to the
Meaning,
next level.
Okay,
different.
And that's
ChatGPT or whatever you
what
use,
Pega wants to
generative
do
AI.
with you.
This
We
isn't
want to
real,
partner with
so
you.
we're gonna.
We want to understand the
like
needs.
situational layer
We want your
thing,
feedback
AI.
on what we're
You're not-
doing.
this part's not
And,
real.
and
You can't
really
use it.
take what's going to be an
throw
amazing,
you- yeah,
amazing
they're throwing you off.
opportunity and realize it
Yeah,
fully.
either don't
and
create it
broadly.
or throwing it away.
We're going to help you.
Whatever would happen.
And you're going to help us, and it's terrifically exciting. But it's not all future, certainly. You know, with what we are showing you today, which is a tremendous amount of real technology available this summer, and what we'll be doing over the next year. When I look out to PegaWorld a year from now, let me tell you what I'm expecting and what we're working
Yeah, I was just
for.
saying the same thing.
First,
My background is pretty awesome.
everybody will say that Pega expertise is at their fingertips. You know, this long-standing issue that sometimes you can't figure out the Pega resource you need to do something. We're going to build that right into the machine. We're going to double developer productivity by making both mundane things, well, go away, and making complex things guided and more readily available. I believe we'll see the emergence of what we call Pega Launchpad, which is a product geared and aimed at our partners for them to be able to create and capture their intellectual property so that if they have workflows and decisions based on that they're going to be able to bring that to market as sets of products running on Pega Cloud. And by the way, I've been working with it. It's really fast. And finally, we're going to together see the emergence of the continuously optimizing autonomous enterprise. It's going to be an awesome year.
I'd like to hear him say more about that.
It's going to be an absolutely terrific show
Continuously
together.
optimizing
And
autonomous
thank you so
enterprise.
much for the 40 years. And thank you so much for coming and being with us today. Have a great PegaWorld.
I mean, I can't say it was anything exceptional, but it was same time, you know,
Introducing your host for PegaWorld Inspire, Pega's Joe Richardson and Matt
I
Healy.
know. Matt Healy, you know him.
Yeah, that name has
Yeah, no, I know we'll recognize Joe, but yes, we definitely know her.
So Don is giving the reins over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to PegaWorld
I
Inspire.
love that video of her.
Yeah.
She just go crazy.
I know.
I mean, wow is right.
Oh, yeah,
Joe.
I know
Look at
him.
all of these people who have come together for
I
this.
actually
It
did
is
something with him a
incredible.
few years ago.
It really is. So I'm Joe Richardson. I've spent 15 wonderful years with Pega, always in the marketing department, always in corporate communications, working with the media.
This
So you
is
see
so
some of
different than a
our
normal.
friends here
And
today.
this is, they have somebody
And
like Joe
I'm
up there on the
absolutely
stage.
really excited
Kudos to
to
them
be
for
here today because
find a
for the
star
next
and let 'em
couple of
roll.
days,
Yep.
I get the privilege
the
of
closest,
serving
like
as one of
Salesforce
your
does it, the
co-hosts
closest is,
along with my good friend here.
Leah.
Hello,
Kind of
everyone.
the
I'm
closest
Matt
type.
Healy. I've been with Pega for 7 years,
Yeah.
the whole time in technology. So I get to think about how AI and automation across our platform can ladder up to solve big business challenges.
Ladder up.
I as well am
All right,
thrilled to
everyone,
be here at
ladder up.
PegaWorld.
So welcome to our world, everybody. And as everybody has alluded to, it's absolutely thrilling to be in person. You look really good. And actually, I think we should recognize that this is something that we haven't done together as this collective community for 4 long years, and we've really missed you.
Yeah, Joe, this is the
little
first
lighting
PegaWorld in
beams.
4 years where I'm wearing pants.
And a jacket. Never seen you in a jacket before.
Didn't know I had one.
Yeah, suits you. But it's true. I mean, look, it's taken a lot of effort. We all got out of our beds. We got out of our pajamas, which was a wrench, let me tell you. I love those pajamas. They're comfortable. For the first year of the pandemic, I spent the year WebEx ready, pajamas. That is a ripple of recognition because you all did it, so don't judge me. But it's true.
Funny.
We made a lot of effort. We've got out of our beds. We've arrived here. We've taken flights. We've arrived in the middle of the desert in sunny Las Vegas for this incredible conference. And that requires us to leave our comfort zones, come here, collaborate, learn, and ultimately take all those wonderful insights that we're going to learn in the next couple of days back to our organizations. So I think that we should all give ourselves a big, jolly, great big round of applause.
This was impromptu.
Yeah, they always are.
Yeah. Good job, everybody. Good job. I also want to make sure we take a moment, Joe, to thank our fantastic sponsors. These are the folks who not only make this event possible, but they're also many of our strategic partners who help make our clients successful. So let's give them a big round of applause as well.
Well, they're the titanium sponsors.
Yeah. And probably then not.
Thank
they're
you,
probably
partners. We
not
are
titanium
truly very
sponsors. They can
grateful
direct
to you.
all the other consultants
Now, look,
to not
in the
talk
next
to
couple of
analysts.
days, you're going to see, experience, and learn so much. But before we dig into that, we need to set up for the next segment.
For those of you who have
I'm
no
going to
idea what I'm
invite some of
saying,
our friends to do that.
Accenture at the
while
Adobe conference
talk
was
to you about
overheard
what's
by
going to
an
happen.
analyst telling all their
So
staff to not
Alan
talk
just
to
talked
analysts
there
at the conference.
about
They're the
the
ones
need
with
to
the
be
green
ready
badges.
to be adaptable.
How's that
And
for
also
insulting?
the speed of change that things that are happening at the moment. And I think that's absolutely essential. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah. I know everyone in the room has been keeping up with the technology market and how that's rapidly evolved even the past 6 months with generative AI and new capabilities and services built around it. And then you look outside of technology and you have an unexpected global event. You have unpredictable markets. All of this, as Alan was talking about, makes it imperative to have an agile business architecture, one that puts your customers, your employees, and their journeys at the center of everything you do.
So the other thing that Alan talked about quite a lot there was the autonomous enterprise. Now, this is a really big conversation for us in Pega, but we're hearing about it more and more. So Matt, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the autonomous enterprise, Alan was talking, I was like, give me some of that. It's really exciting to see organizations start to use a combination of AI, automation, and low code to continually optimize their operations, to drive massive business value, and to start to move towards a self-driving
Hey,
business.
Matt, to be honest, that doesn't tell me anything.
In order to do that, you need to have the right scalable platform that gives you the confidence to transform, to work smarter, to deliver services more efficiently, and build for change.
Right.
Yes, and the great part about the next 2 days here at PegaWorld is we don't just have to talk about something like the autonomous enterprise. We're going to get to start to see it in action and learn how to start to build towards it right now.
So look, I appreciate we've given all of you quite a lot of dense information there. But the great thing is, to bring all of this to life, we've got some truly inspiring keynotes from Aflac, Citi, Rabobank, and Virgin Media Ireland.
Contingent here. I saw like
and on top
5
of
or
all
6
of that,
badges,
we've also got
walking together, and then I
80
saw like 2 or
breakouts
3
happening
more.
over in the conference
Hold
center.
on.
Like
I feel like as part of the event team, I should have
later.
read like an email or something, but we have 80 breakouts over
Yeah,
2
maybe
days?
you should know about this, Matt. But yes, we do.
It's a lot of sessions.
It's been like agenda Jenga, but they fit it all in. It's incredible.
Exciting.
And as if that wasn't enough, there's also the chance to go and get your hands on the newest tech in the Innovation Hub. There are going to be more than 250 demos of our newest technology over there.
Oh, I feel like another thing I should know, but I've seen a couple of the demos that product in the engineering team has in store. and they're awesome. And I didn't know there were going to be 250 of them.
Yeah, there is.
It gives me a great idea. I think I got to get into the Innovation Hub.
Well, we all are when this is finished, Matt.
Yeah, there's going to be a big rush. Like, I think I got to get in there
You
right
can't go now.
I'm going to go right now. I'll let you know what's
You
in there.
can't leave me. He's leaving me. He's leaving me. I'm on my own. I'll just style it out then here on my own. Thank you. I can't wait to see what all of this is for. It kind of looks intriguing, right? Well, listen, if you're wondering what's new in Pega, here to tell us, we have Pega's new capabilities, and we're going to hear all about it from our Chief Product Officer. So everybody, put your hands together and please welcome Karim Akdanol.
All right, thank you, Joe. Hello, everyone.
He is so great.
Thank you so much for being here. It is so nice to see you all here back in Vegas. Thanks for making the trip. I feel like it's been so long.
Gave him a big hug.
I can't believe it's been 4 years since we had this
He comes up to
event
me
in
when I
live.
just talked to Don and he goes,
And do you even remember
I know who
what
you are.
2019
And then I
BC was like?
I mean, I've talked to him probably 20 times.
No, not that
Like
2019
Atlanta with-
BC. 2019 before COVID.
I think
You know, we were all here. We're at PegaWorld 2019. We're taking lots of selfies, just like the party last night. It was great. We had a blast. And we're going to have a blast again this year. But I look back, you know, it was such a simpler time. We were so innocent. We didn't know what was coming. And then, boom, all of a sudden, we experienced a major shift in our lives. COVID hit and everything changed. Our work lives changed. Our lives at home changed. The experience of our kids at school completely changed. It changed so much, like we lost track of time. These days you bump into a friend that you haven't seen in a while, and it's like, did I see you last summer? Or was it 3 years ago? We don't know. We lost track of time, we lost months and years. It had a major impact. But some things didn't change. The corporate objectives didn't really change that much. Enterprises are still driving towards digital transformation and going through major cloud migration so that we can provide amazing engagement to our customers, so that we can provide a seamless service experience to our customers across every single channel that they use, so that we can actually drive operational efficiency across the enterprise. And you know, operational efficiency is really a secret word for doing a whole lot more work with less money, which is the name of the game these days. But these themes, we're familiar with these themes. We know how to work with them. We understand how to make progress towards these. But then, just as we were walking out of our caves in our basement, ready to get back to work, boom, again, another tectonic shift hit us, this time in tech. It feels like last November a volcano erupted with ChatGPT. And since then, it's been Gen AI everywhere. And it's making a big change already. It's going to change how we work. It's going to change titles, skills, how we get work done. Forget about working from home. Forget about the Great Resignation. Forget about baking banana bread. When was the last time you heard about quiet quitting? Those aren't the headlines anymore. These are. It's all about generative AI. It's all about what we can do with generative AI. We can all see that it has so much potential. Yeah. But we also see that there are a lot of questions with it. Can you trust it? Is it safe? Is there a risk? Yeah. Can you just ignore it and wait until it goes away? Nope, it's not going anywhere. And as you can see, Pega has been hard at work for years, actually, to bring AI into the enterprise. And we're really excited
What's he saying?
Weird.
to
how
be
you
able to
do
bring the
that.
value of
Time
generative
between the
AI
right
in a
interface
safe and secure way to our customers in the next version of our product, Pega Infinity
We started
23.
Golden Globes look like for vendor execs actors.
Oh, yes.
I think assume he's being sarcastic.
I'm guessing.
Now, Pega Infinity 23 has a tremendous number of great capabilities that are all intended to bring value directly to our customers and our partners. There's great new UI capabilities with Constellation, all the way across to built-in accessibility capabilities. We have our DX API so mature that you can actually experience Pega applications across all the different channels, all the way across to a beautiful new robotic studio to help you build your applications. You heard about process fabric capabilities. You'll see a lot about process AI during this conference. But today, in this presentation, I'm going to focus on, did you guess it? Gen AI capabilities of the latest release. And to do that,
At this
we're going
point,
to
given
actually
that every
show
vendor
you
is
this stuff
literally,
by
I'm not
playing a game
negative
show
about it, is
that's never been
compelled
played
to
before.
talk about it.
And we
Because if they
actually
don't,
picked
it's
two names
literally
at random,
it will be seen as a
and two
giant
people are
gap.
going to come on
The only
stage
thing that can
to help us show you the
genuinely
latest
distinguish the
capabilities. So
vendors
please
is
help me welcome
the application
our head of
of
product
it and how they're
operations,
using
Karen
it. Other
Manton,
than that,
and our chief technology
it's just
officer,
like,
Don
okay,
Sherman,
another
on stage
vendor
with me.
checking the box.
Wow, that was some intro.
All right.
Hey, good luck, Don.
Good luck. I don't need luck.
Okay.
All right, Kara, Don, thank you so much for joining me on stage. We want to show what Gen AI looks like in Pega Infinity 23 to our audience, and we're going to play a game that has never, ever been played before.
Ever before.
Yes, and the name of the game is Wheel of Pega Gen AI.
Woohoo! Let's do it.
All right, so this is how the game works. We have two contestants. I'm going to press the button, and the wheel is going to go through a set of random process definitions that is going to be built from scratch. And then it's going to select a language that the end users need to experience it in. And here's how the game works. Let's just select the process and the language first. Okay, you ready? All right, let's go.
It's more like Jimmy Fallon's thing, not a wheel.
Oh,
Okay.
that's interesting. So here's how it's going to work.
Okay.
I am Turkish, but I know you guys don't know Turkish, so this should be interesting. So, Kara, you're going to go to your workstation, okay, and you're going to use Pega Infinity 23 and build a loan application process on Infinity 23, leveraging Gen AI
One
for
downside of
Turkish
already
speaker
of this
users.
is there's no way in hell that was random.
That's right, Gen AI will help you.
Okay, great.
And you're going to
That
do
was
this
not a random wheel run.
faster than Don Sherman
Yep.
can make me a Western omelet. Please,
Perfect.
I'm starving. All right. Let's do it.
I think I have a good shot.
All right. Wait, get to your stations. Wait for my signal to
Let me
go.
get my apron on, Karim.
All right.
No, there you go.
What does it say?
CTO, cooking tasty omelet.
Oh, it's a great title.
That's
Now
perfect.
that, see, the man
All right,
who's an improv
ready?
comic.
Set, go. All right, we got Kara's laptop on the screen. Don is getting ready. So what we're going to see is essentially Kara leveraging Infinity 23. She's going to build a process definition from scratch. And you'll see in the demo, every step of the way, as she's defining the process and the rest of the application, she'll be guided by the generative AI capabilities to make her more effective. Don, what are you doing? What is that?
I'm putting on my onion goggles, Karim, so I don't tear up on stage.
Oh, we don't want to see you crying, especially when you lose. All right, so Donna's chopping some onions over there. And Kara, what are you up to?
No way.
Yeah, I'm just filling this form. I want to test my app. It's
everybody
already
does the
working,
same
so Don might need to.
All right,
faster.
Kara already got the first screens
similar to
up
what
and running.
Creation
She's
does.
using some
They have-
sample data
they do
creation
something with their
capabilities. She's got some
stuff
data
while
model.
somebody's doing something
Don
else.
is
Chopping some peppers.
chopping peppers
Yeah.
for the Western
Well, she
omelets.
really
It's
is making an omelet.
critical ingredient. And Kara, she's getting into the data definitions. She's doing some live data stuff.
Yeah, I need a quick integration, I think.
We're going to get some integration built, leveraging the Gen AI capabilities to make her much more
Esteban.
effective. Don is saute. Smells good.
We're getting
All
there.
right.
Getting there.
All right, crack. You can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs. All right, we got the
all the other ones
he's going really fast.
are doing it.
Just so you know.
Can't ignore
The pressure, I guess.
No, I mean, we're doing
I got some
again,
shell in
the
there,
question
Karim.
is, when they're talking about
Yeah.
generative AI,
All
we're
right.
checking a
Kara,
box.
what do we have here?
I mean,
All right.
I have
We
pretty
the
much a
application,
working
we have
app
the
here.
screen.
Are they doing something
Okay.
interesting, or are
You
they?
can build out the
doing
screens. You
something
can
very
create the initial forms.
I mean,
Don,
I think I'm done, Karim.
wait, so what is Dawn doing though?
I'm whisking the eggs, Karim.
Okay, good. Listen, Kara says she's done. That's not Turkish.
I was really hoping you wouldn't notice.
No,
No,
translate
okay.
Turkish. Jesus, go for it.
So
All right,
the
Dawn.
planner,
She has plenty
she
of
can,
time.
you
She
know,
has to learn
whatever she's
Turkish,
doing
go
there,
get the,
faster
you know,
she can make an
externalize
omelet.
all the phrases. She's gonna get someone
Well,
to
actually, it takes time
translate
to
it
make a
for
good
her.
omelet.
Couldn't
And
have picked French.
That's okay,
huh?
not like,
no,
yeah,
no, no. Turkish
actually,
is the right
it's not like that's
solution for this
simple.
moment.
Yeah, but
And
I
Dawn
just,
is almost there.
compared to
It smells
coding
great. I don't know if you guys
I
can
don't know,
smell,
man.
but it smells
Process or
awesome up here.
I remember
All right,
when
and Kara, what do we
Creatia had
have?
to make
Well, I
them,
typed
remember what
Turkish.
how Creatia did it, man?
they're like
I don't know if that
Yeah,
looks like
15,
Turkish.
20 minutes.
We have a
What do you
winner.
think? Oh, good.
Kara,
She's done in
congratulations.
about 5.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Well done. Excellent work.
Well,
And
Thank
it's
you.
actually pretty accurate.
And it's in Turkish.
So can we actually hear what Kara just won?
Congratulations,
did.
Kara. You've won an all expenses paid trip to the Innovation Hub.
Oh my God, amazing.
Enjoy that,
Now,
Kara.
you
Thank you so
won
much. Thank you so much
a
for
tasty
participating.
omelet.
yeah.
That was great.
Look at the omelet.
Just leave
Don's
Don up
still
here.
trying to make it.
Yeah, he's fine. I want that omelet. So I know that was fast,
He's still going.
and I'm going to go through exactly what just happened here in step by step. But what we just witnessed here is a totally unqualified person trying to make a Western omelet.
All right, you know what, Karim? I'm gonna take my pan. I'm gonna go home. You can finish the rest.
You say that for me.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, make it entertaining when you talk about.
I'm guessing Don's the one who came up with that.
Yeah.
I am guessing
He was so close, by the way. I mean, it's almost ready. But in addition to that, we also saw an incredibly fast app build with Pega Infinity 23, leveraging the Gen AI capabilities.
Beat.
And as you know, here at Pega,
Paraphrasing.
we've been building applications for quite some time.
Okay.
So we have a pretty good idea
On
of
your
what are
show,
some
on your
core
upcoming
constructs that you
PPN
need to
show,
pull together
Esteban,
in order to get an application
whatever
up
it's
and
called,
running.
whatever you
You
want
know,
to
you
call
have
it,
to build things around the case
you
lifecycle,
can
define
really
the
show us that
process.
technique.
You have to do things like identify the data model and the users. And that's basically pretty well understood and is well defined within the application. But traditionally, to do this, what we usually do is we grab a bunch of really smart people, we throw them into a room and ask them to figure it out. We ask them to write requirements documents. We ask them to meet and discuss ideas. And often they write very, very long documents. And sometimes this can be wildly successful.
Look how long that takes.
Sometimes you get different results. And it becomes a problem when days and
The only
weeks
thing
turns into
so
months and millions of
far
dollars
that we
spent
keep
just to get a
seeing,
viable
and this
answer
is all the vendors,
on
not
how
just
to
Pega
automate a
vendors.
process.
It's
But with Gen
it
AI,
saves time.
all of that
Pretty much the
changes. All of that is
consistent
gone.
message across
Gen
all of
AI
them.
helps developers, helps
But, I mean,
the
that's,
business
again,
analyst to gather
great.
all the requirements and
Okay,
pretty much
all the other
configure
things
the
is what
phase
I'm
one
kind of
of the
interested in at this
application.
point because we
Now,
kind of
these
know it
smart
saves
people
time and that's
who understand
cool.
the business can
So we're
actually
looking at
spend their
efficiency,
time
I guess. but
focusing
beyond
on
that, I
reviewing
really
the
would like to see
implementation
more than that.
and making
But I think
configuration changes that are specific to the
point,
organizations
This is what's
and
so
customizing
what
it to get it
comes
to work
afterwards.
for the organization and
They
to get
know
it
they
moving
need to-
really, really
Right.
fast.
They need it.
So let's take a look at it
Yeah.
step by step
I
and see what
you're
what
right.
we just
It
saw.
gets to be a
The
little bit
first thing
boring.
Kara did
Well, it's
was to
more than
define
that,
the
too.
case
It's
type.
like if that's the
And she'll
one
leverage the
saving
Gen
grace,
AI
then
that's built into
okay, but
Infinity
not
to
a
actually
big
get
revolution
the
is none of
definition
the
of the
thing.
first
I mean, I
phase
know
of
it is.
milestones
I
and
get my
steps
point. Yeah.
of the core process.
It's ultimately the
Got it from Gen
value
AI
of the
and already have it
outcomes
plugged directly into the product,
not
ready
the
to
time it
execute.
saves.
It just works. And then, as we know, every single process is going to have some people, some personas that participate with it. So again, we leverage the Gen AI capabilities to identify the different personas that are going to participate at different stages of the life cycle of this process and got that into the system. So we got the case lifecycle definition, the personas defined. You all know that you have to have a robust
Well, see, what I'd
data
like to
model that's
see
defined for the
after
application,
maybe
both
future
for
demo,
the
put what
case
she did
definitions as well as
on
for
the
the
screen
secondary
while she's
objects that's
doing it.
going to participate.
So we can actually see what she's doing.
Again, we leverage the Gen
I don't know
AI
what she
capabilities
did. I'm just sort of seeing
to
the
capture a
processes that were
robust
used
set of the
and what
data
occurred
model
as a result
for these
of what she
objects.
wrote. Right.
Now,
I
is it
don't know what she
100%
wrote.
correct? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Is it really close?
She could have
Yeah.
written this very
And that's when those
complex
smart people
prompt.
come in and actually define the
I'm
differences.
guessing they
You have a
giving
robust
the
running
time
application
constraint.
with the case
Well, I know, but
and the personas and the
we
data
say
model
what's going
defined.
up on the screen.
Now, these objects that we define the data
Not in
model
the
for,
room, so.
Yeah.
often they're going to need to integrate with other applications within the enterprise. So we're going to have to build integrations. We have to get the data model from that other system and map it into the data model in Pega. We just use generative AI to do all the mapping for us, regardless of how complex the objects are. And it just works. Now, you've done the integration, you got the data model, and you can start to run through some of the application, and you need to create test cases. And
saying it just works is actually most
and with
fear
Gen
is that
AI,
it doesn't.
you can just actually
I'm
automatically
guessing
create sample records
That's
for
where you
all
go.
of your objects
Right.
directly in the system
I know.
within
But
seconds.
again, keynotes, you got to be
It will be accurate,
keynotes.
realistic sample data.
But you
And as
gotta
much
bring
as
it
you
out.
want, you can have 5, 50, 100, 1,000. Doesn't matter. It will just populate your systems for you. You can actually experience what the application is going to feel like and look like with
There we go.
realistic data.
Maybe that's the thing on the
Now,
top is the
you define the sample data, and you want to see what it looks like for the end users. We'll leverage the Gen AI capabilities to actually generate the user experience for those personas against that data model for those case definitions in its journey
There you go.
directly through the App Studio experience, and it just works. That's what we just saw when we looked at the screen at first. It wasn't English. It was in English at first. But she basically knew that in order to win
That's
that
what she's writing, I
prize,
guess.
in order to win the contest, Kara had
But
to
she's
translate that
completely
application to
But
Turkish.
she's completely inexperienced, which is.
I'm still pretty good in
They were
Turkish.
trying to
Kara
say, though, they were
isn't.
joking
But
about
Gen
that.
AI, she's working on it. But Gen AI actually
Then
leveraged,
how would she know that? to be-
gave us the ability to just translate the application
I guess they're just showing
into
it.
any language
Yeah.
that we want. We can translate it into Dutch. We can translate it into Hindi. We can translate it to French, Spanish, Japanese, Turkish. And it gets done in seconds.
No, it is.
Now, again, is it 100% perfect? No.
Okay.
But it's really, really close. And it can collect all the elements that are experienced by the users and translate them all for you.
She
Now,
did in 2 lines.
when you have an application up and running,
In a couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
minutes.
right, when you're going through the processes, when you have the cases and the processes and the interactions going, you're going to want to get some insights into what the operations look like. So you're going to want to run some reports. And I know everybody has lots of BI expertise and lots of people know how to write SQL statements, but it takes a long time. With the Gen AI that's built into Pega Infinity, you can just ask it a question.
That's cool.
You can just say, show me these records, show me the loans,
I want to see
organize
the
them
voice
by
aspect
state,
of this.
organize
Why are
them
we
by
doing that?
loan
Handing it to
type.
anybody.
The
I've
Gen
done
AI
this.
will automatically
Say it
figure
and
out
type it.
what the question is, what the objects to go after, help us identify the SQL statement, will generate the insights report definition in Pega, will automatically determine the best way to represent that data and show it to you as quickly as what you just saw. And you're going to see all of this. And all of these capabilities work because the Gen AI is actually designed directly into the architecture of Pega Infinity. It's actually like baked in to that layer cake that Alan was talking about as a core part of the product.
Code repository. Imagine it.
Now, during these presentations, I usually hesitate to show architecture diagrams,
Simple product.
but let's go for it.
It's not
right?
really
I
a much better
think
case
you
study.
guys
The
will
only
appreciate this.
reason they did
Now,
what they're doing,
you all know that
their customers
Pega
are banks,
products
right? I mean,
is essentially the
loan
platform is a
application
low-code
is
app
what they're
development
doing.
platform
So, I
for
mean,
AI-powered
based
decisioning and
on the
workflow
audience.
automation. That's what we talk about as what the
In this
product
case.
does. And the way it works
Yes,
is
first
through a
case
studio
study.
like the App
Very
Studio,
But I
you
thought
capture the
more
definition of the
complex.
process,
Yeah.
definition of the AI,
They're doing what they have to do for the
decisioning of all
audience.
the automation components
Maybe not.
in constructs that we call rules. And then what we do is in the background, we have a set of microservices that actually execute those definitions
40-year audience.
and turn those definitions into
So,
runtime.
You know,
That's how the Pega works.
and
There's
I-
rule times that define
I
the
would guess
purpose,
if I had to pick
and then
one
the services execute that
representative
purpose for you.
industry in the audience. It's
With the 23 architecture, we extended
And
this
so that they're doing it
set of
tailored to the
capabilities
audience.
to include a net new core component of the architecture called Pega Gen AI. And it has 3 components to it. The first, and for those of you who've known Pega for a long time, this will not be a surprise, we have a rule type definition that allows us to capture the purpose of the prompt that we're going to engineer to leverage generative AI. So we can capture the thinking, what is it that we're going to ask? The second component is a gateway service, which is really like a traffic cop that figures out what service to use to execute that prompt. There are already tremendous numbers of Gen AI services and large language models out there, and every organization will make its own decisions around which ones that they're going to leverage, including the last one basically indicates here, including language models that you build for your organizations that we can plug in to get the work done. And the third component, which is a critical component as well, is intended for being able to leverage Gen AI with confidential data. It's a set of local models that help you process confidential data through Gen AI without leaving your secure environment. And these are essentially net new components that you will see when you get a chance to see all the demonstrations. And all these capabilities, I just gave you really example of like 6, 7, 8 of them. There's another 20, 30 of them out there. This is just the beginning. There's going to be many more, and you will certainly see Gen AI-based capabilities from many other vendors out there as well. And you'll see things like, they click on a button and it creates a form with 2 fields. You'll see them click a button and you get a chunk of code back like Alan was talking about. And some of these can be very useful for some simple projects. And I've already seen lots of the capabilities that look really, really cute.
Thank you.
Really cute demos that target simple problems. And everybody likes cute. That's Skittles. We love cute. But I have some bad news for you. And I know this is going to be hard for some of you to hear, but some of your problems, they're not that cute. They're kind of big. I've seen some of them, they're scary. I've seen some of your processes, and they need to be tamed. And it's usually not just one. There are a lot of these processes roaming around, looking to cause trouble. And you need to fix them and optimize them. But that's absolutely normal. You run a major enterprise. You inherited an enterprise architecture that probably looks something like this. Your problems require a different level of expertise, a deeper sense of sophistication to operate. And Pega, that's exactly what we do. We like to go beyond the basics. We like to understand your business objectives. We like to understand your processes. And we like to help you optimize them across this architecture. And to help us do that, to help us bring more value to you and to your efforts around driving optimization, we are thrilled to announce a brand new product called Pega Process Mining.
About AI and generative AI, etc.
Pega Process Mining is a brand new solution that we just announced. And it essentially collects execution data of your processes across all of those applications that we saw on the enterprise diagram, so that you can actually understand how a process truly runs. Not how you think it runs,
to me, that's
but how it truly actually goes through across all those applications, across all those systems, across all those
they have to do what they have to do,
database records. Process mining provides analytics capabilities to help you understand the elapsed times, to help you understand bottlenecks, to help you understand where does a process actually get stuck? Where does it go down exception paths that are costly? And allows us to do analysis so we can define where to focus on in order to drive optimization directly to the organization.
Like Oracle is a company.
And as Gen AI gets plugged into process mining, you'll be able to just chat with your process.
And Oracle,
you can ask, what's wrong with our load process? You can say, where does it get stuck?
Well, they can,
You can say, why does it go down these bottlenecks?
They call it bare
And
metal.
it'll help you drive that
application.
analysis.
Yeah, that's the one thing with
so
them.
that we
I
can
mean, for them,
drive
it's
into
autonomous and
operational
what's the word?
efficiency outcomes
I'm trying to
and great
think of,
experiences for our end customers. And you'll see this afternoon
I mean,
in the
it's a
Innovation Hub.
self-operating.
You'll also see how we leverage this
Yeah.
Gen AI that's baked into
There's
the
a-
architecture,
Gosh,
leveraged in other applications. For example, you'll see how we use it in our sales automation application, which is really a top-ranked sales automation solution by Gartner. And we use it to we use Gen AI in there to make salespeople more effective by
got
capturing
you.
action items and follow-on assignments from engagements that they have with their prospects, helping making salespeople more effective. You will see us leverage Gen AI in our customer service solution in many use cases. One of my favorite one is all around saving time for agents after they finish a call with a customer and automating the wrap-up summary steps, which usually takes minutes for agents to complete after every call before they can take the next one. Instead, now it just basically shows them the wrap-up notes. The human is in the loop. They say, okay. And it directly basically registers that with the application, saving minutes and minutes for every agent on every call. You will also see the value of generative AI in our industry applications. For example, in our financial services crimes investigations solution, Gen AI makes a huge impact. Actually, we use the analytics AI capabilities to apply real-time event processing to alerts from multiple systems around payments and wire transfers and deposits to create a visual to uncover suspicious activity. And then the financial service organization have to report them to appropriate government regulators, complying with a varying set of formats that are specific to every single agency. And if these suspicious activities are not reported in time, there are some very, very high fines. And the application, the Gen AI capabilities, helps our customers get those reports in, saving tremendous money. And of course, our heritage around some of these AI capabilities comes from one-to-one customer engagement.
Yeah,
and tomorrow, right here on the stage, you can't miss Rob Walker explain the AI revolution and different aspects of AI. And I'm hoping you'll all be here to hear from Rob. And I know it'll be a great presentation.
AI is changing business.
So you're gonna hear from Rob. You're gonna go to the Innovation Hub and you're gonna see all the demos. And you're going to ask yourself, how do I get my hands on this stuff? And I believe the answer is Pega Cloud. Pega Cloud will make a big difference for your organization. Pega Cloud can help you save money. It will help you save tremendous amount of time. And it will really reduce the operational stress. And Pega Cloud will help you keep up with the pace of change. And we all know that things are moving really, really fast. And this tectonic shift with generative AI is really our collective opportunity to actually reach for all those dreams that we always talk about. We cannot just be casual observers. We all need to get on board as active participants with all these AI capabilities. Together we can build for change.
Wow.
And the times certainly are AI changing. Thank you all.
That was well timed.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That was
Really good job.
Wow, thanks, Karim. I love the way you did that. And that was really cool stuff. And I kind of felt like I'd stumbled onto a cooking show for a minute, which is absolutely fine, right? Food works. And I've kind of learned, is there no end to Don Sherman's talents? And congratulations, Cara, that is an amazing prize. You are a lucky girl. So as Karim mentioned, there are hundreds of Pega and partner tech experts over at the Innovation Hub, and they're really excited to show you all of the new AI and automation capabilities, how they can be used in your organization. And as we mentioned, over 250 demos.
Joe,
Matt, what are
It's me,
you
Matt.
doing? What are you doing, Matt?
Well, I'm trying to check out the Innovation Hub like we talked about. I'm trying to see all the cool demos. Oh, I think I hear security coming.
Matt, what are you doing? I thought you were supposed to be on the keynote stage right now.
Hey, Steph, how's it going? I thought you were security. I'm trying to get a sneak peek of the Innovation Hub and see all the cool demos.
No, Matt, Innovation Hub isn't open yet. But since you're here, why don't I tell you about all the amazing things that are in here?
That would be incredible.
Innovation Hub is 100,000 square feet of space. There's around 250 demos.
I think
There's a
Don needs to
networking
bring his
lounge
wife in to
where
handle
you can
some of this
recharge.
comedy.
There's a headshot booth station
God.
and so many other surprises here. Oh, and plus, after
What's he
keynotes,
doing?
there's a ton
fake
of
tree,
breakout
so he
sessions
could
that
hide
are
behind the
happening
tree.
right
You
over
want
there.
camouflage?
It all sounds so fun. Are you sure I can't
Maybe
stay?
the tree.
No, Matt. After keynotes, Innovation Hub doors will open and everyone can come check it out for themselves, including you.
I guess that makes sense. Joe, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, and why don't we get you out of this? Yeah, don't you think, Joe?
Yes, I do, Matt. Just put your show clothes back on
Terrible.
and get over here and help me out.
That was terrible.
So I'm really excited to go and have a look at some of those amazing demos. And thank you for the sneak peek. But I'm also really excited to invite our very first client keynote speaker of the day, Sheila Anderson, the CIO of Aflac. Now, she's going to talk about how Aflac is using
Didn't they have
AI
Aflac on
and
another year?
automation
Was it them?
to
Somebody did.
streamline their
Somebody
customer
did.
services
Yeah, we saw
and
somebody
deliver
with
the
Aflac.
type of personalized experiences that really
And
give
the
the
Golden
peace of
Globe
mind to
for
their
Disney
customers
Acting goes
and
too, yeah.
build value for
I mean,
their
I hate to agree
organization.
with him, but
So everybody, please, welcome Sheila Anderson.
more of a corral.
Good morning. I'm Sheila Anderson, CIO at Aflac US. I am so excited to be here to welcome you to PegaWorld. I'm basically responsible
Oh God,
for
you're right.
overseeing Aflac's digital services
slight
organization and for driving our technology strategy in support of the company's US business. We're a well-known company, but sometimes not known well. You may know us best by the Aflac Duck, which for more than 20 years has been our international brand icon. Aflac was actually founded
You
in
remember the discussion about getting
1955
rid of the Aflac
as
truck
a
that came
cancer
out a few years
insurance
ago?
company. And
Where was it,
today,
the
we're
outside?
actually a
Why would they
$26
get away?
billion company
They were
and a
going to
leader in
change their,
supplemental health
like their,
insurance.
they were trying
We
to,
operate out of
so they would
both the US and
change,
Japan,
switch
covering
the-
millions of customers.
I remember I heard about it at an
Aflac
was
actually
Oracle.
specializes in
And Aflac
supplemental
was an
benefits.
Oracle.
So you may ask, what is that?
And the
Think of
person,
it
the
as
Aflac
accident,
person, I think mentioned
cancer,
that.
critical illness, hospitalization, short-term disability, and life
It's
insurance.
definitely a rehearsed speech.
We also have group coverage with dental, vision,
Yeah.
life,
An ad for
disability,
Well,
and absence
and then
services.
so now you all of a
We
sudden you have
provide value to our policyholders by basically helping them to bridge the gap for unexpected costs that medical insurance may not cover. Our products basically provide peace of mind, knowing that Aflac is there in the time of need. This gives our policyholders the opportunity to focus on perhaps recovery instead of that added financial stress that often comes. Our focus is on making their experience with Aflac engaging and as stress-free
even
as
our
possible.
hands are rehearsed.
Karim talked about all of the advances in AI and automation, the way that organizations work and connect with customers. And like many organizations, especially in the insurance industry, we too were challenged with numerous homegrown legacy applications and many manual processes that many businesses are still challenged with. What did this do? It actually slowed down our ability to respond to our customers and policyholders, and actually prevented us from delivering that very valued stress-free experience that we were striving for. So we established a goal
I assume I'm gonna have
to
to
actually
swap the battery
transition
out.
to a much more customer-centric
And
business
at that point, you
architecture.
just go to
Our
full
goal
screen
was
and
to
have
achieve
them.
a more robust 360-degree
okay
view of
now.
each of our customers, and
So
also to
everyone
be able
watching,
to take
if you happen
advantage of
to
all of this
go
new
out
digital
right
and
now, my
AI-based
battery
technologies that you're
in
all
the
hearing
camera ran
about.
out. So, but I have other.
We wanted to focus on streamlining and digitizing all of our processes for our customers, our policyholders, our brokers, and our service
You're so right
representatives.
on that. This is an infomercial.
To do that, we needed the best technology to help us to modernize and orchestrate our processes and our workflows. But we also had to stop and think about how do we actually change the way that we work internally in IT, to move from the old mindset of expending all of our resources just to keep the lights on and to run our business, shifting that over to a much more agile approach in serving our business and our customers. What does this do? It allows us to use low-code application development to add that continuous value and also incremental value. We actually began our initiatives to build out a new digital services operating model in 2014. It's actually called One Digital Aflac. At the 2020 PegaWorld, my predecessor, Rich Gilbert, actually talked about some of the achievements that Pega has helped us to achieve. Things like making self-service easier,
He actually talked
launching
about it.
a real-time
That's what she
claims
literally
tracker, building
As
and
opposed to
launching
what?
a live chatbot feature. Also using workflow automation to optimize and automate our claims processing from end to end. All of this also while implementing Pega Customer Service is our new contact center platform framework. Today, I'll be diving deeper into our contact center story, focusing on how our customer service platform has changed the way that we engage with our customers and service our customers. I'll also be sharing some of the lessons that we've learned on our journey.
They used to, Pega, back in the day, they did a great job. These are actually like
our previous customer center
no
framework, of
disrespect to
course,
her, I don't
going
know
back
her
to the
at all,
legacy,
but
was homegrown,
the Pega
built
customers
in-house.
used to be,
It was connected to
the two
many of
brothers
those
from
back
San Diego we
office,
talked
multiple
about. I mean,
legacy
those two
systems,
best buddies.
also
They also had
homegrown.
that person
With a
from
focus on gathering
Lloyd's of
customer
London
data.
years
We were
ago.
looking for
Incredible
active or
speaker.
recent customer requests for service
And
and our
also,
claims processing.
they
The
participated in the
systems were
event too.
relatively good, I would say,
This
at
is
aggregating
just like-
information
this is
from various
to
back-end systems to produce
Esteban's
that
point,
single view.
Sort of
But it
a
wasn't the
very
comprehensive view that
rehearsed
we were looking
infomercial.
for. It relied on a lot of that legacy custom code,
Yeah,
which is
well,
a challenge for all of us. And in
You're right.
turn, that required a lot of effort to update and maintain,
Oh,
and not
yeah,
to
I know,
mention
I know.
the skills
I think it's
gap
4
that
years
we
of
have
less
with
than-
legacy technologies.
Could be it.
Our service representatives had to swivel chair moving from one to another system and screens to actually service our customers. Many requests could not be completed at point of call. Instead, they were handed off to, for example, a back office operations for processing, creating typically delays and impacting our customer satisfaction. Because of these systems' complexity, sometimes, believe it or not, it actually would take representatives 50 touches, 50 steps to resolution.
Oh.
That simply was not acceptable to us. We wanted to make it easier and quicker to actually accurately and more effectively service our customers and resolve those inquiries at point of call. So what did we do? We began replacing that homegrown system with Pega Customer Service on Pega Cloud in 2019. Our initial focus was on automating and improving email processing. Once that was up and running, we began building out new applications and consolidating many of those multiple applications into the platform. This provided that unified and streamlined approach to servicing our customers through both the phone and chat channels.
You can feel the energy kind
Now,
of.
we actually have 7 different virtual assistants
it's also,
integrated across all of our major customer experience
story
platforms,
and the story,
providing self-service options for all of our customer types.
I mean, I think we had a,
payroll accounts, and
you and
even
I
our
discussed
producers.
this on something we were
We've
doing,
extended this
where
capability also to
ultimately,
areas
just 'cause
such
they're
as
customers doesn't
indexing
make
and
them good
remittance
people.
departments,
Right.
This
I
is
mean, you know,
resulting in efficiency
you have
gains
to
for
find
those
the
internal
people who can
processes as
generate
well.
the kind of
So with that
interest and
extension, we've
excitement,
actually
engagement with the
achieved
crowd.
some
Even,
unanticipated
I mean, they're
gains
people
and
like
wins.
everyone else. Some people
We're
are made
also
for this, made for
automating
that.
our
Some
voice
people
recording on
aren't. Some
demand
people are
system,
practice and
which
get
was
to
an
it.
added
Some
request from our
people
business.
don't. But you
Pega
know,
has
but
absolutely allowed
you
us
have
to
to
connect
find
those
those
multiple
who
points
do
from our front
in
end
order
channels
for it
and
to
our
work.
back end
I mean,
systems.
again, they may be your
We
best
have a much
customer,
more
but
complete 360
the
degree
person they put up
view
not a
of
great
each
speaker. So what?
very valued customer that we have. Pega customer
there's
service captures
a
and tracks
rhythm
everything that happens
that
during that
feels like,
interaction.
remember,
Representatives
like in the
no
beginning
longer have to
stages of the
spend their time
pandemic,
typing up the lengthy
was
notes after each
virtual.
call. Now
They
they
were
have that
Yeah.
reduction in that after
moving,
call work. They can spend time on
you know,
serving our customers, which is what they want.
10
We want them to
minutes,
be doing.
5 minutes, and
We
it's
have seen a
boom, boom,
huge
boom.
impact and difference in our
I
IT
think
staff, our
that was
customers,
successful. I think
as well as our customer
I've
care
gotten indoctrinated
representatives.
into that.
Yeah,
By
me too.
consolidating these multiple applications
and I
and
like that pace.
services to a single platform,
It's
we've made it
hard
much
to
easier and
go
simpler
back to
for
the
our representatives to
pre-pandemic
manage
pace of
those
things.
claims and service our very
We
valued
actually people like.
customers.
Yeah. I mean,
And for our
ultimately,
customers
again,
to
it
actually
goes to the
interact
heart of
with
what
us
an
through
event's
these
about,
self-service
right?
channels.
And one of the things
We've
to
boosted
that point, it has
efficiencies
to generate
all
energy,
while improving
right?
that
It has to
customer
generate some
experience.
excitement. And to your
The end
point,
result, this is the impact slide.
that tends to be
Lower wait and queue times
as
for our
opposed to
customers. Workflows for our
mean,
employees. We've seen a 33%
We're not used
reduction
to
in
seeing a lot
handling
of
time for
slides.
callers who are requesting
People got
claims
away from
forms.
using slides
That's pretty amazing.
because you
In our client
have to do
authentication
differently.
process,
Yeah.
we've actually
I don't
seen a
think just because we're out of the
65% reduction
pandemic,
in handling time,
we're out of that.
allowing us to
no.
get
I mean,
past that
you know,
administrative
people
overhead
can talk
and get
about
to the heart
going
of the
back to
matter,
work and
which is serving our
doing things
customers every
IRL
day
again and
and
all
giving
that,
them what they
but
actually need.
ultimately, it's still hybrid.
We've
when
also
it
done
comes to
things
that.
like
Regardless
automating
of whether you're
recording
physically
processes to
somewhere
ensure
or
100%
virtually
compliance
and
for
digitally somewhere,
those regulatory
it's still
processes that
hybrid,
we
and it's
all
going to always be
manage
hybrid.
through.
That's it. I mean, because
We've had gains
expectations are
from
different.
integrated
How
virtual
you get
assistants that
impacted
have
is different. To
absolutely
your
been
point, you got
significant to
used
our
to a different
business.
way of being impacted.
Last
and it
year,
worked.
again, our
It
virtual
actually worked.
assistants handled approximately
Look, not to say that this
77%
won't. Maybe this will
of
have
all
the
chats.
desired impact.
That savings that was delivered to our organization
just feels
is
like
approximately $4 million.
timing and the entertainment value that people had to put together
Thank you.
to keep people's attention virtually.
We're also applying all of the
Those-
lessons
those-
learned as we've
you
been on
still
this
need
journey,
to
many learnings,
keep
to the benefit of
Yeah.
future projects and
I mean,
initiatives.
look,
For
in the-
example,
in the,
we've created a
you know,
center
we
of
went from that whole
excellence
theatrical,
focused on
cinematic
Pega
side, and
capabilities.
it's still there.
How can we
right?
best
I mean, I know
reuse
John,
existing
when we had that
resources to
discussion with
build new
John Reed
value?
about,
I
you know,
always
where
like
he
to
was
say,
kind
can we start at 50%?
but I think
How do we do
when
that?
we were
Let's think
talking with
about that.
him,
So
what
we
he
don't
meant
have
was
to reinvent the wheel for
really
every
what he
new
meant,
project that
and
we
again,
do.
he can correct me.
We've
if I'm
also
wrong,
evolved our
he
monthly
really meant
governance
don't
meeting or governance
consume
process
content
into
to
more of a
entertain and
robust
not don't be
community
entertaining.
of
You know what?
practice
It's interesting
forum.
about this.
This is now a forum
The
where
segment with
all of our teams and our individuals on the
John
teams are eagerly showing up every day to learn
There was
about the
there was-
latest
Yeah.
ways
there
that
was-
we're using
there's more
Pega,
going on.
to
There
learn
was
those
entertainment,
tricks and
there's
tips that are going to help us to be better,
getting things done.
asking questions
And
and
then
sharing
you
ideas.
kind of resort to the
This has helped to
traditional,
start shaping the,
you know,
the
things
focus in our
afterwards.
organization to a
I think we
continuous
got to
learning
figure out a way,
mindset
and
and
I'm not just
culture.
talking about Peg, I'm just saying generally speaking.
Our
Gotta
resources
figure
even
out a
started
better way
helping
to
our business
integrate
teams to tackle
the
projects
customer story.
that are very
They did a
important,
great job of
but
that. It
previously
was
were backlogged
pretty
on our
awesome with
to-do
stuff,
list.
connections.
Things like
It was like a
updating and
video. It was
automating
like
our
they made
many
these
highly manual
very
processes
high
required to work
production,
with third
professional
parties.
looking. You look like something you could see on
Now,
TV.
not
It
only
was
do we
it was
get
customer
images and
support, right?
information that we need
And it wasn't
electronically, we're
too
also
long,
able to
and
collect that much
you
needed
know,
additional
just it
data
felt like something.
related to that
Well, you remember
information.
that one
And
story
we're able
about
to
that
apply those
guy who was,
business rules to help automate
yeah,
things
that was
such
an
as
His whole
amazing,
time-critical
family.
decisions.
his entire,
We'll be
he
diving
was at a
deeper
point
into
where
all of this
I
at the
think,
breakout session
what was
this
it?
afternoon, so please
He
join
had
us
lost
there if you'd
purpose,
like to
I
learn
think,
more
until,
about
I
our
forget
journey.
the exact story, but all I do
Finally, I
remember,
had the opportunity
Oh,
to
he's an
participate
athlete.
in our very first
He was
Pega
an athlete, a
Hackathon,
football
or
player.
Pegathon as
Yeah.
we called it,
But
in April, along
but
with our
that
partner,
was a great
Coforge.
story, and that
Our business
really has
partners
impact,
presented
and you can
7
see how
different
our
use
life
cases for our
gets
business
changed,
problems.
and at the
These
same
needed the
time,
right
how the
solution.
technology
Using Pega low-code,
benefits
no-code
the
framework
person as a
and the App
human, and
Studio.
also as it
Our business
benefits the
partners
company.
actually developed
through
minimum
like a
lovable products by
video.
the end
Yeah,
of
it was
this
a
2-day
fabulous
event.
video.
Drip drop in.
Now, the
And it
teams
works.
using an app factory
kinda hard
model
to go
have completed
from,
the builds and
you know,
have gotten their own
kind of
designs
the
and creations
entertainment
into production.
information that
Pega
John
is
and
the right
Sharon,
solution.
the lady did,
Through all of
and
these
then
things,
drop
at
back into the
Aflac,
kind of
we like to
traditional,
say that we have
you know,
turned business
Yeah.
as usual
I mean, look, I remember
into
I mean, it might have been
innovation as
like
usual.
the
And we're
interesting
not
thing,
finished
even though I think
transforming
let's say
because
the
we're
image
using
might have been
Pega
stretched,
customer
but
service as a service on the Pega
we
cloud.
both really
We're able
liked
to
how
pivot
it
that
performed in the
focus
closed
around
forum,
other leading
right?
capabilities
Partly
to improve
because
our overall
Michael
customer
Wu did that
experience, which is a
brilliant
primary goal for
presentation
us.
on Gen
Things like
AI and what
claims
it is.
automation that at the end of the
But
day
also,
help to put
I mean, the
money in the
Shackleton
hands
thing
of
was
our
probably
insureds more quickly, and as I like to say,
overexposed.
it was
shorten that
different.
time to
Yeah, it was
value for
different, and it
everything that we're
kind of
doing,
worked.
keeping the customer
And
lens
it
and the
made it a
focus
lot
on.
more interesting. They actually they actually had
Additionally,
Broadway stars.
at Aflac, we don't only want to be known as the best supplemental health insurance company. We want to be known for providing the very best insurance experience
off
possible.
Broadway come in and do
Health
some of the
insurance
singing
wasn't designed to
along
cover
with the actual
everything.
discussion.
That's why there's Aflac.
The analogy
Thank
was
you and have a
correct,
great Pega World.
but it still worked, right? Because it was right, and then the engagement level was tremendous with the audience. Smaller crowds, but still huge engagement.
Sheila, thank you so
back
much.
into
That's a
the, you know,
fantastic
pre-pandemic
story. And I think
And
Aflac's
interestingly,
story
this
is probably one that a lot
Pega
of
was one of
people
the
can
better ones
relate to.
pre-pandemic.
That need
Right,
to
yeah.
modernize
And
from
great.
legacy
Yeah.
applications
This one is
towards a more unified approach that
really
makes
kind of
great service
old
easier
approach
for
to
both our customers
a new thing
and
that
our agents,
doesn't
and allows
quite
you
click.
to really get to know your customers and connect with them on a much better level and on every channel. Now, our final speaker today
also,
is a very special guest.
Joe is funny.
Yeah,
She's
When
great.
Alan founded Pega
We're not
40 years ago,
because it's fully
he
rehearsed.
wasn't just the CEO.
Again, these things are too
Oh no,
heavily
in typical
pre-planned.
startup
Like
fashion,
this,
he had many
they would do.
roles.
I mean, those little
He was
sketch
the
comedy
developer,
things were terrible.
he was the
Right?
financial officer,
But you know,
he did a lot of
Joe is
marketing,
one of the.
which
She's
he
literally
very
marvelous at
occasionally
this.
might remind
And-
me about.
But she's obviously
And he was
doing
also
something
the
that
salesperson.
you memorize.
And, you know, the very first sale he made
Yeah, look,
was to Citibank.
and if I'm them, I'm
Our
keeping her up
first
there
client ever.
always. She's one of the. She's got one of the great personalities.
If Don has to give the reins
Yeah.
over,
And here
He's
we
doing
are,
it.
nearly 40 years of innovation later, and they're still on a mission to build for change. And we're absolutely thrilled that they have agreed to come and share their story of how they're using Pega's decisioning capabilities to drive the customer-centric experiences that they are really, really well known for. So it's my great pleasure and my great honor to welcome to the stage the head of analytics, technology, and innovation for Citi's US Personal Bank, Dr. Pramiti Dutta.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be here. Since the time I joined Citi, there hasn't been a PegaWorld in person. So this is actually my first PegaWorld Live, and I'm so excited to share it with all of you. I'm also hoping that in the last 40 years, Alan, you've noticed some change that we've driven at Citi. I think we're coming a long way. There's still more to do. There's always more to do, but we're making progress. And I also hope that there's some cake served later today. I'm kind of hungry for the cake. So let's go ahead and get started.
What a nice smile.
As head of analytics, technology, and
she's
innovation
immediately
at the US
likable
Commercial
and
Bank, I'm responsible for driving and
naturally
creating
there.
data and analytics solutions that enable faster, deeper, wider, data-driven insights
Okay, well,
to
this is the
achieve
infomercial
superior
part.
decisions and
Well,
outcomes.
yeah,
It's all right.
You got to give
And
them
we'll talk about that
Well, it's
throughout
funny
the
how she
process
stopped
for the
cold
next
and then
15
got
minutes that I
to
have up
saying these
here.
things. That's what happens when
But
you.
before we go any
when you
further,
get
let
there.
me start with what will
See, now she's
perhaps
back
be
there.
the shortest introduction to Citi that I can provide. We were founded 200 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Amazing.
More than 200 years ago,
Can you
actually.
imagine
With the
1812?
same mission that guides
Is
us
that
today.
before or after the war?
To serve
That
as a
was during.
trusted partner to our
Clearly.
clients by responsibly providing financial services that enable growth and economic progress. The US personal bank is comprised of three main parts: our branded cards, our retail services, and our retail banking. And our vision is to provide a client-centric experience for today's digital world. Citi is setting the standard for digital-first client services and is invested in using the best available technology to do so, and in order to drive operational excellence and growth. Our strategic goal is to drive bespoke, personalized experiences for customers in the US personal bank that meet the customer in moments of truth, to offer seamless experiences that help form a true relationship with our financial institution. We call this our Customer 360 approach. It's an approach that uses analytics and decision sciences to truly harness the power of the data to understand the customer needs and wants. This, in turn, enables our real-time decisioning across all our channels. It's used in concert with human judgment to provide a personal connection into every interaction, to provide a client experience that is continuous, seamless, and always present, and to do it in a way that both supports our growth and complies with our guidelines for risk and controls. To do this, we're building out new capabilities, harnessing our customer data, driving actionable insights, and fully connecting our end-to-end delivery of these experiences. Let's start by discussing what I mean by taking full advantage of our internal data.
Might be harder to get
Our
out when you go.
client-centric firm mission also means that we need to make sure we have our data in a fit-for-purpose manner, in which we can truly understand our customer. So we first have to make sure that our data is not in silos by products.
I have a couple
but
of
in
ideas
true
for the
customer
watch party to
360
talk to you
fashion
after
across
we're done
all
with
the
this one.
products.
Okay.
We have developed what we affectionately refer to as the Customer Analytic Record, or CAR. It is a curated data stream that has thousands and thousands of elements and is consistently growing. Some of these elements even flow in real time and are curated attributes and insights that provide a view of our customer across all interactions, products, and channels. Of course, you can imagine that there's qualitative information that we have, like zip codes, home ownership, household member accounts, and whatnot. But we also have quantitative attributes like customer level transactions, number of times they engage with us, the channels they use, and how, of course, their money moves. Because after all, this shouldn't be surprising. We are a financial institution. But added to these elements are additional attributes that truly let us understand the behavior of the customer. This serves as a foundation to enable our superior decisions at scale for us in the
I really
US
do
personal
like the
bank.
idea of
For
integrating
example, if we know that a customer spent
pre-recorded video
$457.67, exactly what was it spent on? Was it at a hardware store? That's quite a hardware bill. Was it at a restaurant? Was it for travel? Is it a common pattern for our customer, or is this something that we're noticing as an anomaly? We have also focused on integrating the more qualitative human parts of our customer interactions into this large repository. For example, did the customer just call a call
as
center?
opposed to kind of
Is
the
it the first time they're calling, or do they
this
keep
feels
calling us
so
for the same reason over and over again?
Yeah,
Maybe they like talking to us, but I'm
like I said,
assuming it's
nothing
not
to
that.
do-
I
nothing
think they need
against
some help with something.
both of these folks.
The
just feels
juxtapositioning
like we're
of
back
all our
to a-
current customer data, both
more- a
structured and
format that
unstructured, across all interactions,
we kind of got
and
away
touch points,
from, and I
all
think we like
channels,
getting
and
away
all
from.
products,
Well, we need to
truly
get away
puts
from
us
it
in a
now.
state
I
to
think you're right.
uniquely
And
utilize
I
our
mean,
data
ultimately,
to harness
because
actionable insights at scale
would this
like
speech
never
be
before.
misplaced as a, let's say, a local event somewhere?
This is what
Not
we refer to as
necessarily.
our
It'd be
on-us
fine.
data. On-us data is the data that our customers have trusted with us. It's actually the foundation of what drives
which
CAR
statement?
today. Using this, we can
I don't
derive
know.
insights such as we see that the customer has
Slip
spent on a
into the-
hotel
yeah.
reservation today.
Like I
The
said,
dates happen to
this is
correspond
something
with their
that
birthday. And so we know that it's a special event.
Companies are going to have to
What
figure
can
out.
we do
But
to
how's the
surprise
best
our
way to get
customer
the
on that
customer
special
story
day?
and voice
Hey,
in
maybe we can get some cake.
without it being feeling like we're going
All
back
this
to-
is enabled using only our on-us
the old
data.
Also, I mean,
Just
honestly, listening
imagine
to
the
the
world of
content
possibilities
from
as we
her
start
and
harnessing the world of external data.
Affleck,
Office data is that external data that we
it's not
don't
consistent
directly
with
collect.
what they're
But
trying to talk
oftentimes, there are
about.
many firms
I mean,
out
it's
there that
basically,
do.
here are some
We
improvements
think of this
we
office
made
data as
using
credit bureau
Pega's
data or social media, but there's
platform
so much more
with
information out
the
there.
specific things
Let's
that
imagine
we're
the
doing, and
potential
that's
of that
great.
for a
I mean, there's
moment.
nothing wrong with that, but
Did you know
it's
that
not,
today it is possible to
how
purchase
do I
granular
put it?
information on individual
It's not what
transactions?
effectively Alan was
How
talking
does that
about
matter
when
to
he
us at
said
Citi?
our customers will tell you
Well,
about what
going back to our original
I was looking
example,
for something that
we
said,
know that the
okay,
customer made a transaction
these
at
are
a hotel
customers who are
vendor.
taking a
But to
kind of
make this more
more,
real,
let's call
where
it a
did they
little
book
more,
and for how
not a
long?
bleeding edge, but at
We
least a
know that a
leading
hotel
edge kind of
reservation means
approach to
travel,
things.
which
And
means
over
that
these
they
years,
likely
they've
need
managed to do
some
this
form of
extremely well.
transportation, whether it's
And
by
here are
plane,
some of the
train,
things
or
we're now
automobile.
doing. Instead, we're
In an
looking at
ideal
here are
situation,
improvements in the
we
things
would
we
be able
already
to
do,
proactively
which is
assist the
fine.
customer in
Again,
making
these are
such a booking.
positive. It's what business
And then
sell things
to
with.
take that one step
And that's my
further,
first step into
if we
this.
know
Right.
from their
But
past
it's also
interactions
not
that the customer has a preference for
inspiration
certain
on
types
its
of
stage.
shows or
Because
events,
it's a
we can
use
even
case.
connect
It's
them
not
to
a
our
use case.
merchant
It's a
offers and
case study
priority event
that
tickets
has
for relevant
applicability
events
because
during
these are
their
highly
trip.
specific
Imagine how that
benefits
changes the customer
to
experience
the
end to end.
customer who's
The
talking about them,
explosion of
not
this type of
necessarily even others
granularity
in
of
the same industry.
information
Although,
will
you know, we can
truly
make
change how
some
companies are
generalizations
able to
from it.
trustfully use
I
data
don't know.
provided
I
by
think
customers
you and
to
I have
gain
just a very
intelligence
different
for uber
perspective on
personalization
the
for their
purpose of these
customers.
things.
We're also
Sometimes, you know,
enhancing the way we
the purpose
utilize and maximize
that
the
you and I
value of our data
agree,
through robust analytics.
where their
Let's
purpose,
briefly
of
think through
course,
the
is
life
okay.
cycle of how an
We're
offer
selling our
reaches a
technology.
customer. In this
But when
case,
you're at an
let's
event, the
focus on
purpose
marketing
isn't to sell
offers,
your
customer
technology.
marketing
It's
offers.
to keep
We
your
first
customers
identify the population of
engaged
the
and
eligible
inspired in a
universe,
way that they remember
and then
after
we
the event.
have several internal developed
Speak of the
advanced
devil.
analytic
Here he is
methodologies and
himself.
capabilities that we've built to hone in on what a customer should be given.
Come, we have a
Then we
seat for you
take
right
those
here.
inputs
Oh,
and
no, it's
run
okay.
them
Bring it
through the
around. Bring it
Pega
around.
Customer Decision
Okay.
Hub,
Come
or
sit
what
in
we
between
refer
if you
to
want.
internally
You'll
as
be
the
in-
Omni-Channel
well, no,
Decision
actually, don't.
Engine,
Come
or
here.
ODE, to determine the when and
No,
where
you're good. No, you're good.
to
Bring it
approach
back.
the
Bring it
customer
back.
with those
You're right.
offers.
Forget it. I'm wrong. I'm just looking at the wrong. Here's your mic. I got to turn it on though once you get it on.
We utilize the Omni-Channel Decision Engine as a single real-time decision authority to provide transparent next best decision making and handle the scale of operations. Our customer 360 approach will empower our frontline staff in our branches and contact centers to have more personalized conversations with customers
Adrian
and
Swinscoe.
enable contextual
Adrian, aside from
interactions
being one of the
on
coolest people
self-service
you'll ever want to
channels.
meet in your life,
But
and one
most
of
of
the
all,
nicest
we're
people
breaking
you ever want to
away
meet in
from
your life.
always focusing
He's
on
an
marketing offers to
incredibly
having
influential
conversations.
guy.
And to be able to
lives
focus
in the
on what the
UK.
customer needs at that
He's
moment of
inspirational
interaction,
across all
which
of
could
Europe and the
include
US.
proactive engagement
He's
and
very well known
delights.
for his
It's the theme
innovation
song to
in
my
this
new
world of
favorite
CX,
Broadway
and he calls it
musical.
punk
It's
CX,
not
which
just about marketing
I'd like
offers
to tell him a
anymore.
little bit about that before we get into
Wouldn't we
the
all like
thinking
to be
on the top.
delighted by small tokens of appreciation during critical moments of truth? Now, let me take a few moments to share the journey we've had so far. We are not new to customer decisioning. In fact, we had the original Cordiant decision engine running on our digital channels for over a decade. As that engine was hitting its end of life with no vendor support available, thanks, Alan, we knew we had to adapt to the future. And of course, the customer decision hub was a logical
I'm so
progression,
glad to see you too.
since
I mean,
Cordiant was the predecessor
okay.
to it.
We have been
For
sitting
our
here
initial
being relatively,
implementation,
I'd say,
we were live
mostly
on
critical,
channel,
I would say,
on our
probably,
post
if I'm
login web
looking
and
out. So
mobile channels
what's your first
within
overall impression
weeks
as to
with a subset of our customers,
message,
which was a great start.
and then
And we've
as to
continued to build the
actual
program
event
over the past
presentation?
3 years to expand functionality to a range of channels. As with any project, though, there were a few lessons that we learned along the way. For a project of this scale and magnitude to succeed, you need the right combination of technology and data. We worked very hard to get our data to a fit-for-purpose state
somebody is saying we
through
need to get
our customer
the mic
analytic
closer
record.
to your mouth.
And we worked even harder to
There we
make
go.
sure that we had
So,
the proper
the thing I would
end-to-end
say about the
technology
content thing is
execution
like, I always
capabilities
think
and
Pega has
to
kind of things
drive
that
that
always seem to
data.
be really well stitched together. I love the demo.
There's also a lot of understanding and change that needs to happen when you bring in new technology.
I think what was more
Change is
important to me was that
implicitly an iterative
taking the kind
humbling
of Gen I
process.
which
Gen AI
requires us to
and
embrace
fits
the
it into
past
all sorts
while
of different
designing the
things,
future.
the whole kind of like
The
process.
new decision engine
it's not
comes with
designed.
many more capabilities
It's
than our
the
original
problem
one.
is with the whole
Imagine we now have the Tesla of decisioning,
Right.
which
It's
comes
like-
with
it's a bit-
self-driving
Maybe
capabilities.
something that's
I mean,
new,
literally
different,
self-driving.
right?
You brought that up.
We
And
have
it's
to
a bit
learn
like,
to adapt and adopt this new way of
actually,
thinking. This means, as
for
a
me, I don't
firm,
think it's
we need to
necessarily
learn
about
how to
being
truly
different
adopt
because it's a thing.
a data-driven
It's more
culture
about
of
how do
curiosity.
you kind of
Because
how do
for
you
the first
create-
time,
how do you
we're
drive
able to
action?
break down the
And
silos
it's
between
not well
channel
and just
interactions,
look,
enabling
splurge
true
it.
omni-channel decisioning.
When actually, this is the way that we do it, and this
Finally,
is how we plug it
new
into
skills in
all the
education is the last pillar I
It's a
have
bit
to
like when
stress.
we're going to take
We
a
need
car
to
to the
account for
shop,
the new skills
you're
and
gonna get
process
tuned.
differences that will
So it's going to
occur.
run more efficiently
What
and
makes
faster
this
and have more
challenging
horsepower and all
is that during
and
this
that's-
phase of
and I think that's
transition,
what it feels
we
like
have
me,
to
what
make
we've
sure
done
that
is
none of
taken
the
it
lights
and
go
gone,
off
how do we
anywhere.
plug
And in the
this
mindset
together
of
with
a
our
zero
power
tolerance
control?
policy for
To make it
execution
more
errors,
efficient and run faster.
imagine that you're on a
So I think
racetrack and having
nothing
to change
mind-blowing,
the
nothing
tires of your
earth-shattering,
vehicle while the car is
but
in
cool
motion
to
at
see the
fast
work that's been
speeds.
done.
That
in the
is
last
a tall
8 months or
order.
whatever. They must have been hard at it.
As an institution,
to get
though,
it
we
all
have
like
grown.
stitched together.
We have held hands through
So
the
it's
tough
good,
times and
I really like
celebrated the
the multilingual
successes.
approach.
We can see the path ahead with more clarity than
because-
before.
And that's just
We
something
embrace the
like,
challenges
how
by
do you-
committing to
you
learn
can
from them.
change some of those sort of things when you
And,
go
well,
across
we
industries and across
continue to understand that we
compliance
will
regimes
learn,
and all those
have to learn to
I think that's when
face
layer cake
challenges,
and process
as
fabric sort
is
of
true with any change.
architecture can start to
For instance, we now understand the importance of foolproof training modules for the ops
enjoyed it.
manager, especially when
I'm
onboarding
not
new
surprised,
team members.
but
I'm sure many of you CDH users out there can,
about some of the sort of stuff. I think the process mining thing is
can
interesting.
relate to that one.
It's a bit like an
It's these types of large coordinated efforts that need to happen to get your project to full speed and scale. So buy-in, alignment, and agreement from all stakeholders and partners is critical to success.
So, I mean,
The
one of the things
results have
that
been worth it.
I
We have committed as a
think
firm to
generally
challenge
we agree with you in
ourselves,
terms of
and the
that.
omni-channel decision
One of the
engine
things I was
offers us
personally a
the
little,
opportunity
I
to
guess, a
think
little
of a
disappointed,
data-driven
even though
future.
understood,
One that
was
is
because
powered
they
through
had no
insights at
choice
scale
but to bring
and
in
focused on
generative AI.
adding meaningful,
They
positive moments
underplayed
in our
and have
customers' busy
so far
lives.
still consistently underplayed the
I
autonomous.
also want to point out that
Yeah,
our
I mean, I think
success is
that's, for me, I
possible
think that'll
because
come.
Pega is not just a transactional software vendor to us. We're true partners, sharing ideas and information to harness the technology in a way that is mutually beneficial.
Like today, later today, and kind of like tomorrow. And I think we have to kind of, we get caught up in the whole sort of like picture of
Citi has successfully deployed the omni-channel decision engine to
Right,
our U.S.
had no
personal
choice.
bank,
Top of the
post
gen.
login,
All right,
web,
so-
mobile, branch,
You're right.
and
The
agent
differentiation
channels.
is the autonomous.
We're at 100%
Right, that to
traffic
me
on
is
web and
what
mobile,
makes them
and are
Pega, really.
ramping in the other
Now,
channels.
Brent made the point, which is true.
We're now
that
accelerating the
actually
adoption across
Oracle is
other
the ones who
channels,
have
so in the not-so-distant future, we can further
actually
our
even earlier
contextual
than
customer
Pega
conversations
came on
through
with
true
push
omni-channel
forward the
decisioning.
autonomous enterprise. And
Overall,
from their
I'm
standpoint,
really
they've
proud of
actually
the change we're
stuck with it.
embracing
But
by
they-
shifting
what did
to
you
a
say?
client-centric omni-channel
From bare
experience.
metal to app.
But our
Yeah, from bare
transformation is
metal
just
to
a
apps
stepping
with
stone.
Oracle, right?
We're
Right,
looking
that's
to
the way they
use
look
the
at it, 'cause they've
omni-channel
got the
decision
hardware, they
engine
got the
to help us
they got the
proactively engage with
cloud
customers in a
architecture,
truly
they've got the
omni-channel
apps,
manner
they've got
so
everything.
that we exceed the needs of our customers
So, you
no
know,
matter
and
how
they
they
have
choose to engage
stuck
with
with it.
us.
We'll see how they do it.
As a
outward
digital-first
at this
company,
point, you know, given
our goal is
they're
to
gonna have to address it
differentiate
too,
our
so.
digital experiences.
I think it's harder.
And that means that we need to be able to resolve all customer needs digitally.
Version
But
control.
if and when a
is
customer
difficult
should
when you're
choose to
dealing with
speak to
hardware.
us using an alternative method,
Customers don't have to
we're ready to meet them in
that's their
context
selling point.
versus
Yeah,
having to have
we
them
control
start
it
from the
all.
beginning.
You don't have to worry.
We
about it.
truly believe that
Then become a
personalized
service,
engagement
so
is
it's a
always
gigantic
on,
service.
and is the essential
Right, so now, this is
foundation
one thing,
for relationship banking.
one of the things Brent and I
But before I continue to bore you with any more
very
car and
concerned
driving
with was
puns,
that this
I
is
wanted
just
to
like
take
the
a moment
2018
to thank the entire
conference
team that has been working
event,
endlessly
the way
on
they're
helping make
operating.
this vision
And
come true.
unfortunately for
Starting with my own team,
vendors who think that way,
my gratitude for their
how to put this, that world doesn't exist anymore for
my
events.
gratitude for their relentless passion and drive in
for
never
example,
letting anything overcome their belief in doing what's right for
the
Citi and for
customer
our
stories
customers.
were
Thank you, team.
team.
infomercial and rehearsed.
But
and
it
heavily
takes an
rehearsed.
army
And
for
were
any
very
large
specific
transformation at this
case
scale.
studies that were
And even
designed
size 2
to
font on this large
focus
90-foot
on
screen
the benefit of that
would not
individual.
enable us to
customer, which
list
is
each and every
fine,
member of the City and Pega
but
teams that have played a
nothing
critical
compelling
part
about any
in
of
making
them
execution for
particularly.
a
I mean, other
program
than, oh, well, I
this
mean, look,
size
Pega
come
wants
to
to try
reality.
technology and they have people.
Thank you
but,
all
you know,
for
one
your
of the things,
contribution to making this program a
you know,
success.
the point that Brent brought up that What's that? It's self-disconnection.
Yeah, I just like the way that they integrated
Last
their customer
but not least, Pega has
into
partnered
the
with
raw,
us through our
that they did it
transformations over the
by
past 40 years.
pre-recorded, really
And we are
professionally
excited to continue to work with Pega
moving
to help us build the future of digital-first
so they're
client
able to tell
services.
the customer.
We've got a
stories,
breakout session later
break it
today
from
that will
way,
cover
but
even more work City has been doing if
shortened
you're
down
interested.
timeframe.
Thanks, everyone,
And
and I hope
because
you
it
enjoy your
feels
time here at Vegas at PegaWorld Inspire.
2018 as kind of a big deal. Not to say anything negative about the
Wow, fantastic.
It's just that you change your way of using because of what
Thank
you've gone
you,
through.
Pramiti. That was a really inspiring story, and it's just incredible to see how City is putting the customer at the center of everything that they do.
Oh,
And
okay.
using
Hold on.
workflow and decisioning
All right, switch over.
technology to
I know you-
transform the way they develop those trusted partnerships.
Yeah, I'm running it.
Now, the great thing about being at PegaWorld is that you get to see all of the technology in the Innovation Hub. You get to go to all of the breakouts.
We'll
It's
go to
absolutely packed
this
with
camera.
Pega partner and client experts who are all ready to kind of teach you about the outstanding capabilities and to build out your own roadmaps for digital first services and operations right now, today.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Hello, Matt. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk us through what is going on here?
Right, you
Sorry
don't
for
want
missing a
to
couple of
copy.
those things. But listen, I just got back when Steph wasn't looking. I snuck back into the Innovation Hub, right?
Okay.
And it is awesome. They have so many demos. I got to play with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
They have this massive wall that shows you all these new features and where to learn more information about them. They have snacks. They have these networking areas. Like, are you ready? Can
Yes,
we go?
I really am ready. I've got major FOMO vibes going on. I want to go as well, Matt. But before we do anything, how about we tell everybody about what's going on for the rest of today?
That's a great idea. We should absolutely do that because beyond the Innovation Hub, there is a ton of great stuff. So breakouts are going to kick off right after this, and session details and locations can be found in your PegaWorld mobile app. And then lunch, my favorite, and meetups will run from 12 to 2 in the grand ballroom. And meetups, those are tables set up for networking on special topics like industry groups and diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And of course, everyone's welcome, so better see you there. Get networking.
Actually, that reminds me, June is Pride Month, so happy Pride, everybody. And whether you're part of the LGBTQIA plus community or here as an ally, thank you very much for choosing to spend it with us.
Happy Pride, and there's a lot to celebrate in June, including Juneteenth in the U.S. next week. So we wish everyone a very festive and reflective holiday.
Keynote, so they want
And there's a lot to celebrate at PegaWorld, and we're hoping that you're going to do that with us, because between 4 and 6 o'clock this afternoon in the Innovation Hub, we're having the cocktail reception, which is a brilliant, nice, long session for lots of
That was Joe
networking,
Unleashed,
meeting
and we
up
would
with
like
your
to
old
see a little
friends,
bit more
and
of
making
that.
new friends.
And then, Joe, I am very pleased to see you already have your dancing shoes on.
Oh, these are not the dancing shoes. They're way too uncomfortable.
Perfect for tonight, though.
So he's right. Tonight, we're all going to Hakkasan. You're all invited. I hope you're going to come with us because the Hakkasan nights
Well, you know
are
what? Even
incredible.
Alan felt a little
There's
bit
going to
more
be
trippy
food.
than he
There's
usually
going to be
is.
fun.
We know
There's
Alan
going to be
does.
ping pong, dueling pianos, dancing. Alan's break dancing. I'm joining in. We're going to get on down. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait.
I think tonight, is this the night Alan plays 15 guys in ping pong?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he's not breakdancing.
That might be
then.
tomorrow night, yeah.
Okay, well, we've got the club to ourselves between 7 and 10, but the very important reminder is, please make sure you bring your PegaWorld badge
I think that's the thing that
and
we
your
need
ID,
to keep in mind.
because you will not get
We're
in
going through
without them.
this
You
first
really,
year,
really
a
won't.
lot of folks
And
coming
actually,
back
you know,
5 after
who
4
does
years.
not want to go now get in without that PegaWorld badge?
We gotta
It's
give them
amazing.
that.
It looks good. I'm going to wear mine everywhere I go in UK when I get home.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I ran into security wearing the full thing, trying to get into the Innovation Hub, and they are very thorough people. So do not forget your PegaWorld badge because you won't get it.
Unfortunately,
Okay. Now, the other thing that we want to just remind you about as well is that tomorrow
ultimately, when
at 9 a.m., I know that hurts, doesn't it? It hurts me too, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Please be here because we have Rob Walker's keynote first thing on AI. And honestly, he's kind of like a DJ. It's like all killer, no filler. You do not want to miss 1 minute of it. So make sure you're here on time. You're in for a big treat.
Yeah, and then you're going to want to stay because we have 2 fantastic client keynotes following Rob from Rabobank and Virgin Media Ireland. And then rounding out tomorrow morning is our very own CTO, Don Sherman.
Later, thinking about that.
But the one thing that
Well,
also
I think that we've told everybody
every
everything
vendor who
that they
does the
need to
event
know.
this year gets
So
past.
you ready?
People
Can
are just happy
we
to
get
be
the
back.
Innovation
So
Hub?
just
Yes, I'm
immediately
going to
they
go,
get
but before we
positive feedback
do, Matt,
from that.
how about we invite all of our friends
Yes.
to come with us?
Run with it, man.
Yeah?
Let's do it.
Okay,
Ready?
come with us. Have a fantastic PegaWorld, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Go and collaborate, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. You've been lovely.
Yeah, that is for me too the kind of things I'm really looking forward to, because I've listened to the stories that Rob and Don have kind of told over the course of the years, and it's changed a little bit, nuanced, but it's the same sort of thing. They've just been building and building and building kind of towards that, and I just think it's now we're starting to see that sort of Pega vision actually really come to life, at scale.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Look, I mean, for all the years that I've known Pega, the one thing they've always been consistent is in their corporate narrative. It's the best I've ever seen at that consistency, actually, that when they went from BPM to CRM after the Cordiant acquisition, they didn't lose customers because the story they told didn't make the customer feel, oh my God, you're abandoning me. Then they went from CRM to CX, CX to customer engagement. Now they're going to this new phase. Now, two things that the corporate narrative is always evolutionary and consistent. And the thing I realized now is they've always been fundamentally a platform, right? From day one, 40 years of being a platform. And consequently, it's one of the reasons it has been, because they always built on their own platform all those things they needed to keep the evolution both reasonable and consistent, and customers didn't feel like look, the worst story ever on that one was one I've told multiple times on SAP many years ago, where when they acquired SuccessFactors, they acquired it to go to the cloud, really. I mean, ultimately SuccessFactors as a HR thing it was good product, but it was bleeding dollars like crazy. So they acquired to go to the cloud, and then Lars, who was the CEO of SuccessFactors, goes to Sapphire with 30,000 people in the audience and says, on-premise is dead. The only way to go is the cloud. And that's 30,000 on-premise customers he told it to, right? So, so needless to say, it took SAP several years to correct the damage that he created, even though he wasn't wrong the way he was just overstating the case, but he wasn't wrong. But it's just that he didn't even think about the impact on the customer base or SAP. He just said what he said because that's the kind of person he was. But
I think the point with all that is like when people talk about customer engagement and being customer centric and all these different sort of things, but people have customers, right? Technology companies have customers. The people that attend these events, and sometimes you have to be customer centric to them to allow them to be customer centric to their customers.
You're exactly
right? And
right.
it just cascades down. And what you kind of forgot was like going, you forgot them. You forgot the filling in your sandwich. You're just like,
literally. And I mean, the customer said, "Oh my God, SAP is dumping us. We just spent $80 million on an SAP deployment, right?" So
let's wrap. Let's wrap because we want to.
Yeah, well, I guess we do have to wrap, even though we can talk all day.
Yeah, we probably could. But we'll be back. Matter of fact, bam! Look at that. Coming up at 1:45 Eastern. No, 1:45 Pacific. 4:45. No, you're right.
Yeah,
we're losing track of time zone. 4:45 p.m. Eastern today. We're doing a live CRM Playaz, like a real, CRM Playaz show. And as you can see, we got like a host of folks from Pega. You know, I've met a couple of, I know I met Fortune. I'd spoken with Tara and Francis, but I don't think I've met both. I might have met Francis. I think I might have met Francis.
I've spoken with Fortune.
But the three on the right, I've actually spoken with before.
Do you know these guys?
Yeah, well, I know James.
Okay.
I know Fortune. Had him on the podcast. Never kind of met him in person. I've heard of Peter.
Francis.
And Tara.
Francis, I don't know, and then I've heard of Tara, but I'm going to speak to James and Peter and Tara kind of like later on my own sort of like
cool.
So fill us in on what you're doing, and then we can wrap.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like here, just I guess loafing around, and then I've got a really busy afternoon because I've gone. Here's all these people. So I'm speaking to Sheila Anderson. I'm speaking to Karen.
Sheila Anderson of Aflac, right?
Sheila Anderson of Aflac. I'm speaking to Tech First Credit Union. I think about their story. I'm speaking to Karen. I'm speaking to Tara, and I'm speaking to James tomorrow, and I'm speaking to somebody else. I can't remember, but it's all going to be podcast material, sort of thing.
Cool.
So a whole bunch of Pega kind of content taxi kind of like rank filling. So like
content taxi. Huh?
Yeah.
Is that like take the place
Punk
of
CX
what's that
taxi.
karaoke thing?
No, it's like having a playlist, right? You know when you queue things up.
That's right. This is the Punk CX
Cool.
content playlist.
Well, I guess we all better like shut this one down because we got stuff to do. So we will see you later on this afternoon. I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg.
I'm Adrian Swisco.
He's an honorary player for today. So, but we will see you later. He's a punk player. And we will see you later on.
Bye.